Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports or BWTM Online, the home of all things BWTM. Okay, so we have with us in the room, after making his grand announcement last week that he'd be fighting Joyce, Bermane Stiverne returns to give us an update about what's been going on in his life and what hasn't been going on in his life. So we'll just turn the camera over to Bermane. So, Bermane, what's been going on?
How you doing, sir?
How are you doing, champ? Can you see me? Can you hear us?
Yes. Oh no, I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Fantastic. So, how are you doing, champ?
Doing great. I'm doing great.
So, what's been going on? Obviously, the last time we spoke to you, or we were talking, you were breaking news to us that you were going to be fighting Joyce. It was quite a shock to a lot of people because people thought Joyce had other plans with Miller and Ortiz. You've come back and now you're fighting against Joyce at the O2 Arena on February 23rd, the undercard of James DeGale and Chris Eubank Jr., of course.
That's exactly.
Hold on, you're breaking up. There you go. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
This is, I mean, you said
you're breaking up.
I am the one that I'll be fighting Joyce, basically. So, ever since we spoke last week, there's not much update. Actually, you gave me some update that I'm
yes.
Not surprised, not shocked, but hey, anything for a like or followers,
So the stories we've heard, or the stories I've heard, or supposedly you said you're going to knock out Joyce, and then after that you're going after Joshua. That's what the theory was. So can you confirm or deny that you said you're going to knock out Joyce and then you're going after Joshua's next?
Anything to sell this fight, huh?
So did you say that?
I never said that.
Okay.
That never came out of my mouth. I don't even remember mentioning Joshua.
Okay. So that, okay. The other story, the other quote was, what did you say you were going to do? Yeah, you said Don King rang you, you picked up the phone, and when you picked up the phone, you accepted the fight because Joyce had 7 fights. You went, 7 fights? Yeah, I'll take on Joyce because he only had 7 fights.
That's not accurate.
Okay, so how did the call go? I know you told us, but how did the call go?
There was a mixed up in the name, because the first name that was given to me was Pat Joyce.
Okay.
And I was like, Pat Joyce. That don't ring a bell, but the first thing that came in my mind was, maybe either he's trying to say Joyce, or Joyce has a cousin or brother somewhere that fights. That's the first thing that came in my mind. But then I remember that he just started his career, so I asked him, "Do you mean Joyce?" And then he said, "You'll call me back." And that's when he called me back, and he said, "I was right. It was Joyce, not that Joyce."
Your decision to take the fight, was it based on him only having 7 fights?
No. Not at all. Not at all. Actually, if to be honest, his name is bigger than his record. So he's supposed to be the fast track, big name, and new upcoming or good contender. So you know, I said yes based on what I can get out of winning this fight, not because of him having 7 fights.
So again, that's not true either.
Not at all.
So okay, so tell us, apart from us, who else have you spoken to in the media?
Nobody but you. Nobody but you, and it's going to stay like this for quite a while. You know, there's a lot of. I feel like there's a lot of reporters, or I mean, don't get me wrong. There's reporters that do their job here and there, but there's also a lot of reporters that I feel like you know they're it's their job, yes, but there's just a certain kind of certain people that I know that's in the media that always ask me for an interview, and I never denied them. And that was when everything was going well in my career, and you know, you look at a couple fights before Areola, the 2 fights before Areola, it was always they would call me everything. Then you realize, once you are no longer a champion or once you have a loss, these people kind of disappear, or even ask, you know, um, you know, how am I, how's my health or anything like that. Just to, there's just a few reporters that has done that, including you. So, I don't really care to give any interviews to uh, uh, um, some reporters. I can always give an interview to new reporters or whatever, but there's some of them out there that I don't care to be a part of their blog.
Some fighters or some people would soak up the opportunity to be interviewed, soak up the opportunity to be adored, admired, to hear their opinion on things. Where do you stand with all of this? Are you in this game now to make a quick buck, a final payday, or are you there for the glory and you really want to be a champion again? Where is it with you in this situation?
I'm all in right now. I'm all in. We'll be honest. It's I've been retirement is soon, so I'm all in for to be crowned a 2-time heavyweight champ. You know, but also, you know, you also get the reward or the money that comes with it because this is what I chose. This is how I chose and decide how to feed myself. And but my focus is not to make a big payday and nothing like that because if that's what a fighter would any comeback sport, you can't think about getting a payday because a lot could happen. There's a lot of things that could happen. We could take an example with my good friend Adonis.
How is he, by the way?
He's good. He's doing good. Doing great. He's strong man. I'm proud of him. But for this is what I'm saying. Like you can't really play around with boxing or any comeback sport because you don't know what's going to happen. You know, it's unfortunate that a lot of people there, a lot of fans, um, only thing they see is two fighters in the ring, but there's a lot that happens behind closed doors and a few weeks before the fight or a few months before the fight. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of, unfortunately, there's always a lot of bad stuff that happens uh, than the good stuff that happens. You know, there's always a struggle somewhere. It's very hard psychologically and physically.
On that,
So the preparation is very hard on. I mean, I guess any fighter could agree with me. You know,
yeah.
the preparation, the psychologically, physically, is something that's very, very hard. That a lot of people don't notice or understand what's going on before a fight.
Psychologically, how is it for you in terms of to get up for this fight? You know, you come off fighting arguably the best heavyweight in the world in Deontay Wilder, if not one of the greatest punchers of all time. And now you're going to fight Joyce, who is now going to be ranked, or who is an up and coming fighter who's got limited experience as a pro, but has got abundance of experience as a fighter from the amateur ranks and fighting in the world boxing series as well. That all that experience for Joyce makes it, and he's a more mature fighter. When you look at the 7 fights, is that something that goes through your mind in terms of motivation? Or well, he's only had 7 fights, so he's not that experienced in the ring, or do you say to yourself, hey, you know, this is a great opportunity to crack into the top 10 again, or to you know, re-establish myself as a real serious heavyweight in the division, to prove my doubt was wrong? How are you psychologically preparing yourself for this fight after not fighting for a period of time?
I mean, I took a year off. I think I deserved it, a year off. I needed to gather myself and the people that was around me. So I did that. You know, it was tough. It was a tough decision, but I had to. It was either that or, hang up the gloves. So I had to make drastic change to my career. You know, um, but when it comes to Joyce, the 7 fights, I don't even see him as a fighter's green and he only has 7 fights. You know, I'm going in there as if, you know, he is a regular top 10 fighter. Like, you know, it's a good opportunity for me to I think it's a great opportunity and it's the best. I couldn't get any better fighter than this one. You know, he's um, from what I never saw him fight, but I did spar him. We sparred maybe twice, I think, 2, 3 rounds. That was it. No, strong fighter. He was still green when I fought him. I don't think he had a fight. I think he had yeah, he did. I think he had like 2 fights or something like that. But anyway, nevertheless, it's more me. Um, to me, it's more the opportunity. Um, he has a big name out there in the U.S. and he has a big name when it comes around the heavyweight. Like he's the next big thing, and I always said that they were not taking their time with him, which they should take their time with him. I just think that they're pushing him a little too fast. and if it works well, in my advantage, you know. So I'm not taking away anything from him. This is the fighter that they put in front of me. So I accept it more, not because of the lack of experience. That's not my responsibility. That's his managing. That's the people that manage him and promoting him to be aware of that.
Mm.
They feel like he is um, experienced enough to be in the ring with me. So be it. I think he has a great name in the boxing world, and this is the reason why I'm going with it because his name is bigger than his record. So um, it's more for it's whether it was him or anybody else that's ranked the top 10 or whatever or higher than me. Um, you know, it's all for um, it's a great opportunity for me um, to come back. It's a great fight for me to come back. So I don't really uh, highlight the fact that he only has 7 fights. Cause that don't really matter to me.
So okay, in that year out that you had, you there? Oh, sorry, you are there. In the year that out that you had, what did you learn most from that year out? What were the key life lessons for you?
You know, the past few years, what I was doing was, train hard, burn myself, and just really just go hard every day and everything like that. But I really learned that at this point in my life and where I am in my career, um, uh, on top of uh, being a veteran now, is it's not only to train hard, but it's to train very smart. You know, very to be very smart in the ring and train smart. I've learned how to do that because a lot of people would tell you to train hard, but you can train hard every day. But if it's not the right way or the smart way, that's just training for no reason really, or burning yourself out.
Have you seen the benefits of the new mindset going into this fight with Joyce as opposed to the mindset going into the Wilder 2 fight?
Can you repeat that?
Can you the benefits of the mindset you have now, having a year out, and the mindset you have now going into this fight with Joyce, as opposed to the mindset you're going into and the training camp you had going into the Wilder fight?
Well, the mindset is, right now, my mindset is to make a big comeback. That's what I'm, you know, uh, make a great comeback, um, and get back in the mix and be on the run for another title. And then, like I said earlier, I only got a few years that I want to do this. Um, and close the chapter of my boxing career in a good note, So, this is my mindset right now. I'm back on the run, and I'm giving it all I got. But this time, the training and everything I do is very. It's not. It's more psychologically than physically. You know, it's more about being smart and than just you know uh, do things just to do things or working out or run instead of running for an hour, you know, for an example, you can run an hour and burn yourself, but you could get more running for like 30 minutes or 40 minutes, a good run, a good pace, which is a smarter way to do it.
Okay.
You know, there's no need for me to burn myself and to train hard without being smart, which I would always do before uh, uh, um, in my when I defended my title the first time with Wilder, and actually it happened twice that I did that. It was when I won the title and when I defended the title. You know, I was just going and running hard, and everything I did was hard, and I wouldn't, pace myself. Not that I wouldn't pace myself, but I would just, even when I would be done training, I would still feel the need to hit the bag and do more and more, which, you know, at that time, if I got to do a certain type of round, then I should have just pick it up and go home and rest.
Okay.
But at the time, I felt like I had more energy, and I wanted to stay in the gym and do some more stuff, which was the wrong thing to do.
So, on the subject of training, we have to talk about training now. So, I've heard some stories. As I was talking to you about earlier on, before we went on here, some of the reports I've read in some forums. One forum said, Stiverne's not training. There's no pictures of him training on Instagram. Another person said, Stiverne, was it? Yes, Stiverne used the video from the first Wilder fight for the second Wilder fight. That's why he came into the ring the way he did. So your thoughts on this? Because you're not posting Instagram, so people can't see you training. So they assume you're not training. And they think you're just going to come over here, not train, come over, and just fall over against Joyce. That's what people are thinking.
Wow. I mean, I don't know. Shouldn't somebody that's not on social media while they are in camp, that should be a good I don't know.
A good
be better than, is it better to be in camp and to be on social media every day, or is it better to be in camp and not be on social media at all? I mean, first of all, I do not post things on my Instagram. Do I approve some of the posts? Most of them I do approve. Some of them, I mean, I don't really care, but I don't really. I'm not really the one that post a lot of stuff on my Instagram. But as far as me not training, why would anybody would think such a thing? Like,
listen,
who don't train before they go to a fight? But I mean, I don't know.
In this age of boxing, you get some strange questions and you get some strange thought processes, but you have to ask the question. So, which leads me on to the next question in terms of physical shape. People will always going to ask about your physical shape. How is it? And obviously, I guess you won't give me your weight, will you?
My what?
Weight. How much you're weighing at the moment?
My weight, I don't know. I haven't jumped on the scale. I don't think it's a good thing for me to jump on the scale because this is what I've been doing. Eventually I will jump on the scale, but right now is I'm just focused about focus on putting the work in and working smart, so and feel good. So I don't want any numbers. I don't want to. I want to feel good because I feel good. I don't want to feel good because of the numbers that's on the scale, because it doesn't mean anything to me. So, um, you know, what now? What I worry about is not the numbers or how I weight, is how I feel.
Okay.
As long as I feel great, as long as I'm in the gym working out, and as long as I'm the team is happy with my training and my performance, we are good to go.
Okay. In terms of Joe Joyce, back to the fight, preparing for the fight. Joe Joyce is a come forward fighter, throws lots of punches, got a big engine, and will bring the fight to you. I can't imagine Joyce being on the back foot trying to box. More come straight forward at you, throwing punches and trying to overwhelm you. How are you going to deal or handle or overcome this challenge in front of you?
So you actually you are actually asking me to tell you my game plan.
Absolutely not. But if you want to give it out in the public, then go ahead. Feel free. It's your platform.
Well, we all know he likes to come forward and very throws a lot of punches. Strong man, you know, but makes a lot of mistakes. Makes a lot of mistakes and carries being careless sometimes. You or he knows that he's gonna stop somebody or knock them out. So sometimes he really throw these punches and be careless about the repercussion or uh, of a. So far, I haven't seen him fight a good kind of puncher.
Okay.
And so I mean, I don't really have. Not that I don't really have, but I can't really say really our
Game plan.
Game plan. But let's just say, like I said, I mean, he's a good fighter. He's strong, throws a lot of punches, come forward, make a lot of mistakes. And unfortunately, that's and also he's very tight and stiff, so that makes it um, very good for me. Uh, let's just say that have you ever put a butter on a hot plate?
Yes.
And when you bend that plate, what does the butter do?
It dissolves. It evaporates.
And be smooth, right?
If you keep it in the heat too long, it evaporates.
Right. But it slides real smooth. before it does evaporate, that water slide real smooth and
one of my concerns in this fight, and I think it's a legitimate concern, is when you've got a guy that throws a lot of punches, and although you've been the world champion, the WBC former world champion, although you've done that, and you've got big and higher profile fights, when you're in a situation where you now are the guy that's coming back, and the other guy is the guy who's got the momentum and the future superstar and the investment. There's a situation where I'm looking at, because you like to fight off the ropes a lot. In the UK, depending on the referee style, if you're on the ropes and Joyce lets of a combination and you're backing up against the ropes, you might. I've seen many fights be stopped because a guy just backed up on the ropes.
Let me correct you a little bit.
Okay.
We might be in the UK. Doesn't mean the judges and the referee will be from the UK.
I agree. But regardless if they're from the UK, the US, or Mexico, if they're in your favor or they suit your style, and they understand you're going to be on the back foot and you're going to be looking for counter shots, then they'll let certain things fly. But you may have some referees that think, the referee may go, as soon as I see this guy, as soon as he backs the ropes and 2 punches land, I'm going to stop the fight. And we've seen that before. You get what I'm saying?
First of all, I don't believe that because they know these are like prime fighters. So there's but then again, it's not I never said I was going to lay on the ropes.
No. I'm not saying you.
Or told you anything about how I'm going in the ring and how I'm going to fight him.
No, you haven't. But I'm putting a scenario out there that is a possibility.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, because it happens with guys that come from abroad. That fights, as soon as a couple of punches thrown, referee jumps in, stops the fight, and you're like, "Why is that?" And you understand one's.
I understand that because if you look at my first loss in that's exactly how it happened, and they stopped the fight while I was throwing punches. And was I hurt? I was never hurt, but hey, it happens. But that happens in my in the beginning of my career. So I think they since then, or I just had a bad referee that night. That's all it was.
Okay. Abel Sanchez. Talking about Abel Sanchez, he's now part of Joyce's team. What do you think he brings to Joyce?
Abel Sanchez will not be in the ring.
Yes, he will. Well, he'll be in the corner, as close to the ring as you get.
Right. See, let me tell you something. Everybody like to say trainer this and trainer that, yeah, but now Abel got him, Abel this, Abel that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. You might have the best trainer in the world, whatever it is, whatever you want to call them. But do you know that a lot of things change once you get hit on the chin? You seem to forget who trained you, and you seem to forget a lot of things. Once you get hit, there's a lot of things that a lot of things that go out the window.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Deontay Wilder, Joyce. I know it's a kind of unfair comparison, only in the sense that obviously Wilder's further down in his career in terms of advanced, but in terms of the styles, can you compare the styles, or are they just two totally different styles in terms of
two different styles, two different styles, two different. If you ask me, physically, Joyce is way stronger than Wilder. Wilder is not physically strong. The way they fight, Wilder likes to keep his opponent from a distance, and the other one fight like he's short and just he's like a brawler, boxer, so to speak.
Okay. Back to the comments that were made about the sparring and knocking your dreadlocks off and all the rest of it. How do you look back at that now? Is that something you laugh at? Is that something that you grimace every time you hear it? Because you know when you get to the UK, that's one of the things you're going to be asked about your dreadlocks and whether he knocked your dreadlocks off. Because that's something that's out there now, isn't it?
I mean, let me see.
Wow, that's long.
They're still here. Oh man, I mean, you know, I guess he had a moment. Um, Even when we spar, but it wasn't nothing. It was absolutely nothing. Um, I was just moving around, and I was told, you know, I don't need to throw punches. Just move around, just get warmed up for it to. Because that day, I remember I had two sparring partners, and one couldn't make it, so I had to spar. You know them from South Africa.
Yeah. Of course.
Only the tall. So he was getting ready, and he was late.
Ruin Vissa.
Yeah. So they just told me, you know, just warm up with Joyce like 2, 3 rounds, and then we spar our regular sparring.
Okay.
That's what I did. I barely throw punches. I was just moving around, and there was nothing. There was nothing to talk about. There was nothing. Did he punch me? Like on my gloves, and the other punches went on the side of my head. I don't know where that he thought that he uh, punched me till my dreads fell off, or what? I don't know.
Well, you are aware that
I knew what it was. Yeah, I knew what it was also because I think a week before he got to Vegas. I think he was in England coming to Vegas, and then there was this talk about I didn't know who Joyce was at the time, but there was a talk where they were saying um, Joyce is flying to Vegas to spar Stiverne. So at the time, I asked my friend, like, "Who is this? Like, are we supposed to spar somebody? Like, who is this?" And he said he didn't know who that was, so we didn't know. And then I think somebody in his camp came and asked us, "Hey, we got this kid that's in town." And it was Friday. And then they're like, "Well, he's coming Monday, and if you guys want to move, you know." Well, I said, "Okay, yeah, no problem, whatever." But I noticed that they were trying to make a buzz out there, as if he was coming to spar with me. And I think even what's his name? His good friend.
Bashir,
No, the other one from
David Hay.
yeah. I saw him saying something like that, and that he was coming to spar with me, but I never invited him in my training camp. Like I never called him, and they made the story like I called him so he'll come to spar me. And
But hold on, there's a story going around that how you got upset and you kicked Joyce at the gym and you were crying when you kicked him out the gym. That's the story that's going around.
yeah, I kicked him out because
But you were crying because he supposedly the sparring session went bad for you and you kicked him out the gym because you felt bad and he embarrassed you and you almost crying. That's what the story was. Yeah.
very funny. I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, I was supposed to fight Dominic Brazil.
Right.
So when we sparred I think twice in that week, me and Joyce.
Right.
And I think we sparred on Monday, and then we sparred on Wednesday, and then Friday we didn't. I think he left. He went to California. So Saturday, Sunday, I received a text, and I'm like, and somebody texted me, and they said, "Aren't you sparring with Joyce for your fight against Brazil?" I said, "Yeah." He came a few times or whatever. And then they said, "So what is he doing sparring Brazil?"
Yeah, that was it. And I remember that because I remember you on that.
I said he's sparring Brazil. I said, impossible because he's here in Vegas. And then they said, no, he's sparring Brazil right now in California. So they send me a picture or video, and then here we go, Joyce sparring my opponent. So Monday when I got to the gym, I told the owner I don't want him here. He can't come back here. Unless I'm done, then you can come and work out. But I don't want him here when I work out.
I remember you saying this, and I remember you saying this in a previous. You see, it's interesting because this is what you mentioned before in the lead up to the Wilder fight. So if people were to go back and listen to our previous interviews, what you're saying now and what you said then collate as the same story.
Exactly. I mean, he embarrassed me. How did he embarrass me? What? Embarrass me what? I just thought that was very disrespectful. Like I didn't call you to spar with me. You spar with my opponent. Like who I never heard anything like that. I mean, I don't know any fighter in the history of boxing that would accept whoever to spar with, go spar with their opponent.
Yeah, a bit that.
It doesn't make any sense to me. So I didn't believe it because I thought he was in Vegas. And then they were telling me, no, man, he's in California right now sparring. And then they send me pictures, they send me a bunch of pictures and videos. So when I saw that, I forwarded to my trainer, and then he was like, yo, that's unacceptable. And if we have to leave the gym and go to another gym and let him be in the gym, then that's what we're gonna do. But right now we don't want him in the gym. We don't want him there.
Okay.
Point blank.
So for you, that's probably where you're more upset about, or you at the time were more upset about Joyce breaking a kind of code of conduct between fighters or trust, rather than the comment about
it is like it's not like you didn't know who I was fighting or getting ready for. Plus, when I sparred him, I didn't have to spar him because he's not. He can't mimic or fight like Dominic Brazil. So I didn't. I already had my sparring partner that you gave me. So I didn't need him. So and then for him to at the time when he went to California and spar Brazil, of course I was upset.
Okay.
Like can't double dip.
I like that expression. I've never heard double dip before, but I like it. Is that Haitian, American, or what?
I don't know. It just came out of my.
I like it. I'm like, can I? She ain't gonna sue me for copyright.
Double dip.
Freestyling. Double dip.
at the time, I'm getting ready for a big fight, and you know, here we go, him in California, and he thought he was going to come back to Vegas and spar me again to get some more work. No, that's not how it works. It doesn't work like that.
So, in terms of the things that have been said about you being a punching bag and all this stuff, do those things bother you all, or do you take that on, or do you dust it off, or do you use that to motivate you in training?
Though you said I was a punching bag. Nah, if you can't hit a punching bag, you got serious problems. Because you didn't hit me. If I'm the punching bag, well, and if you got a punching bag in front of you and you can't hit the punching bag.
So I asked this question because we always know it comes out in social media. Was that sparring session between yourself and Joyce recorded?
They try to record it.
Ah.
You know, him coming to Vegas, I knew what it was. I knew it was, I'm gonna go and, test the burn and trying to make a buzz and using my name to make a buzz and try to record the sparring session. I knew what it was, and that's why even I was sparring, and there's people in his what you call it, his camp that was trying to put the cell phone out, and I think even his trainer, I got into it with his trainer at the time, the one that wears the big boots. What's his name?
Well, he's gone now.
Yeah, but at the time it was his trainer.
Yeah,
and he was holding his phone, and I told him, "You listen, if we're gonna spar, you have to put your phone away." And then he was like, "Well, you're not gonna tell me what to do." Oh, okay, so if I'm not gonna do what to do, I ain't gotta spar you, your boy. I don't have to spar him. Y'all can get out.
you've just thinking about it now, knowing you, there's a lot of dynamics when you come to London. You've obviously, you're fighting Joyce. You're on the undercard of Eubank versus the girl, so you've had a run-in with the Eubanks already. Deontay Wilder's coming to the UK. This is getting like a Royal Rumble. Deontay Wilder's coming to the UK because his brother is Marcellus is fighting on the undercard as well. It's like the Royal Rumble.
Well, that's good.
We're gonna still wait for. All we got to wait for is Miller to pop over and Miller to pop over as well. And Shannon Briggs. Well, we get Briggs. Klitschko over as well. Why not?
Who Shannon Briggs coming to?
And he'll probably pop over as well. You know, Shannon, he always pops up for big fight, so he might pull up. Who knows? So you've got all these different dynamics for you coming to the UK.
I didn't even know he had a brother that fight.
Yeah, he's got a brother that's fighting on the undercard.
Didn't know.
Now you know. So he's got a brother fighting on the undercard. And obviously, the Eubanks you've run into already as well. So, I know that you'll probably meet your old mate David Hay as well.
Oh, definitely. He'll be there. That's his boy.
Or is it still his boy, or was his boy?
I don't know. They're not friends no more.
I don't know what. I don't know Joe Joyce like that sense, but yeah. So
I don't know either.
So okay, you in terms of preparation now, are you in terms of sparring? Have you got enough quality sparring partners?
I do.
You do?
Yes, sir.
And you've got sparring partners that can mimic Joyce? I mean, it's a silly question to ask, but I've still got to ask you.
I have one that actually the same height and do the same thing. come forward and throw 1,000 punches.
Okay, okay. Did you see Joyce's last fight against Joe Hanks by any chance?
Who?
Did you see his fight against Joe Hanks? Joe Joyce?
No. Who's Joe Hanks?
Joe Hanks. He's an American fighter. No.
Is that the one that has dreads as well?
Yeah, it's the one who's got dreads as well.
I just saw when he went down. I didn't.
Okay. I think you and him are about the same height. Around about the same height.
No.
Okay. One other question I want to ask you about is Don King. Don King said, oh, before I ask the question, I should ask the other question. Has Don King been watching you train by any chance since the fight's been announced?
Have he watched me train?
Yeah.
No, he hasn't been around.
Because Don King said, well, he's quoted in saying, God help Joe Joyce, because Stiverne's coming. That's what Don said. You know, Don is great at promoting and stuff. So I didn't know it was a case of him seeing what you've done or knowing the previous of you or what. I didn't know.
No, he hasn't been there, but he knows I'm training.
Okay. Okay. In terms of your team, are you bringing a big team with you? Are you having a small team?
Not that big. It's just like 6 of us.
Okay.
But I do have people that's out there.
Okay.
You know, I have friends and family out there.
Okay. Okay. So in terms of training, in terms of gym, have they talked about what gym you're going to be at or anything like that yet? Or do you know, or stuff still be? Not yet.
Nothing yet.
Okay. 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 Let me see, before you go, just before you disappear, is there anything else you want to say, Bermane, before you go?
Anything what?
Right. Yeah, here we go. You've got one of your somebody who follows all your fights named Summer. Summer says, he goes, hello, Bermane. My question, I think you were in your best shape against Austin and Ariola the second fight with less weight. Then you were not just strong, but flexible for skills. What do you think?
I was in my best of shape the first Ariola fight.
You were in better shape. Okay. And
the second fight, I dropped, I think, another 10 pounds for the second fight. And I felt good, but not as good as the first fight.
And then Summer says, please say for Bermane that he should see Joe Joyce's first fight against Ian Lewison. A lot of things learned from that. Yeah, he's saying you can learn a lot of things from the Ian Lewison fight. Do you have anything you want to say about that?
No, I could just go with our little sparring session.
Okay, did you learn anything from that sparring session?
Learn? I wouldn't say learn. I just he fights just like he spar.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You know, he doesn't unless he changed now, but I don't know. The man, whenever he spar, he fights the same. There's no difference. Right?
Okay. Just before we go, a couple of thoughts before fights. I suspect that Joshua will come to America and fight Miller. How do you think that fight goes?
Joshua, man. I have to go with Joshua.
Okay, okay. And Fury Wilder 2 rematch, if it happens.
remember what I said? Not to go against Fury ever in life.
You're not going against him again, then?
Every time I go against Fury, with Fury performance, I would have to go with Fury.
Okay, all right. And the fight that's just been announced
is 2 years off, and he came back like that. You got to go with.
You're gonna go with Fury. All right.
Came back after all of that, after all the drugs and all the stuff going on, and he was able to come back and did better than I thought he would do or last the whole 12 rounds. I mean, I have to go with Fury.
Okay. And one final fight. Dave Allen against Lucas Brown.
Dave Allen?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Fought Dillian White, fought Luis Ortiz. Fought Dillian White. And he fought against the French guy, Yoka, who got suspended after that fight.
I'm assuming he lost?
Yeah, he lost.
I don't know him, but that's not the Australian guy.
Yeah, the Australian guy. Yeah, Lucas Brown. Yeah.
I never saw him fight. I saw him fight once.
Okay.
Against Dillian White.
Okay.
Which I saw last week.
Okay. Hello, Bermane. I'm from you. Oh, maybe I'm for you. Greetings from Germany.
Greetings.
That's his name is Jersey Joe. Right, I think that's about it. Unless you've got anything else, you have to let us know.
I mean, there's nothing else to say but to tune in February 23rd. You know, it's gonna be a lot of. I can't wait to fight in the UK. It's gonna be a lot of. I'm pretty sure that crowd is gonna be
buzzing.
Yeah.
The O2 Arena. Wow.
Yeah.
That is some arena.
Is that the same arena that when I came the last time?
No, that was Wembley.
Okay, yeah, Wembley.
That was Wembley. The O2 Arena. Well, yeah, it is a spectacle. The O2 Arena, and it's gotten better.
I've never been.
It's a great place. It's a great venue.
Well, I mean, anywhere in the UK, so I'm pretty sure it's quite a show.
Okay. Do you have a message to? Do you have a message for Joe Joyce before we go?
No.
No message, Joe Joyce. A message to the haters and the doubters.
Keep hating.
And to your supporters.
The greatest of all time. Without my supporters, you know, all the DMs and the messages and you know, there's so much, you know. I try to respond to every single one of them. But I really want to say thank you to all the people that supports me. And, you know, even though I can't respond to all of them, but thank you from the bottom of my heart.
And just to finally clarify, Instagram posts and social media posts, because they're not up, doesn't mean you're not training. You're taking this very, very seriously.
Oh boy. I didn't know I had to I guess this is something I started because I know the past 2 of years I would always train and they would post. And I would always 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 post. And every other day. My workouts, but you know, we're not doing that right now. So, I mean, we might, but this is not the top priority.
Okay. Once again, Bermane Stiverne, thank you so much once again for giving us the exclusive.
Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure.
And we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
All right.
All the best. So there you have it there. Bermane Stiverne with BWTM Online, another exclusive. We hope that you've enjoyed the show. And of course, the next time we'll see Bermane is when he's in the UK facing up against the unbeaten prospect or top contender, Joyce. This has been BWTM. You've been watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like, share. And as always, for those people out there in the media world, quote your sources. We're out. Take care.